On Wednesday, July 23rd, I woke up feeling under the weather. And then my life took an unexpected turn as I was diagnosed with Ebola virus disease. I am thrilled to be alive, to be well, and to be reunited with my family.
And welcome back to the show. I'm Bill Tucker. Steve is off today, taking a well-deserved vacation. And I'm joined by the man you just saw on your television, Dr. Kent Brantly and his wife, Amber Brantly, Ebola survivor, first American treated in the U.S., co-author of a book called Call for Life. And Amber, his co-author, is joining me as well. First, let me start by saying congratulations. You got a very nice review from Publishers Weekly, who said the book reads like a medical thriller. It must have pleased you.
It was a really nice review, and our experience was pretty thrilling.
So thrilling you want to do it again, or?
We would do it again, but I'm not eager to go through that experience of Ebola again.
I'm sure. You know, most people probably know your name and think, oh, that's the guy that survived Ebola. Oh, that's the wife of the guy that survived Ebola. But your book, Called for Life, really makes this much more poignant and gives us a better idea of who you are and why you were doing what you were doing. Tell us a little bit about your background and why you were there in the first place.
We moved to Liberia in October of 2013 because for years leading up to that, more than a decade, Amber and I each shared a calling to be medical missionaries. We wanted to use our lives in service to people in great need and to use our skills as medical professionals to offer help to people who don't necessarily have access to medical care. And we met the people from Samaritan's Purse, the post-residency program, and that is really how we ended up in Liberia on a 2-year assignment.
Now, Amber, you're a nurse, correct?
Yes.
Are you involved with Samaritan's Purse as well? Or?
I'm not employed by Samaritan's Purse. I simply went along as Kent's wife and mother of his kids, and the family was really called to that together.
Yeah, you know, there are some people who would be very critical and say, wait, Kent, it's one thing for you to expose yourself to this, but this involves a family and kids. What is your answer to why they were there with you?
When we felt that call together, we did this as a family. We acknowledged the risks of the move we were making. We considered our children's safety. We prayed about the risks that we might be taking. We also took action to protect ourselves as much as was possible. We got all of our vaccinations and all of that kind of thing. And I think my children will have an enriched life moving forward because of the experience we had living in Liberia and because of whatever kind of work we will do after this.
Well, you're obviously well and fully recovered at this point, and I think a lot of people would look at you and think, well, that's the end of that. And you and I were talking before we came in here. For a lot of people, the Ebola scare is an out of sight, out of mind kind of deal, but it's not over, is it?
It is not over at all. This outbreak that I was a part of a year ago is still ongoing. It's never been brought to a full close. And so Sierra Leone and Guinea continue to diagnose 20 to 30 new cases every week. And even Liberia, that we rejoiced with in May when they were declared Ebola-free by the World Health Organization, at the end of June there was a resurgence of cases there, and so they are now again on their countdown to try to become Ebola-free again. And that's something that we're not aware of because it's not in our news cycle, it's not on the headlines, but people need to know that the situation has not been resolved yet.
You're both still involved with Samaritan's Purse, and as I understand it, you're going down to North Carolina to take part in an event that they're holding. What is it that people can do? What is it that you would tell folks that we could do now?
I think of 3 things that people can do to help. One is to support organizations that are on the ground trying to bring an end to this epidemic. Samaritan's Purse is there, Doctors Without Borders is still there working. The World Health Organization has really revamped their efforts to bring an end to Ebola. Another thing that we can do is raise awareness. Talk with your friends about it, inform your community, write letters to your government leaders to ask them to not forget about, to not give up on this effort in West Africa. And I think the third thing that we can do is to pray. Pray for the people of West Africa who are suffering, I think it's really hard, maybe impossible, to remain apathetic towards people for whom we're praying. And so to keep them in mind is to have motivation to take action.
We really quickly, Samaritan's Purse, do they accept donations from people who are interested in giving donations?
They do. SamaritansPurse.org is the website. You can donate there.
All right. Thank you very much, both of you, Kent and Amber, for being here. Appreciate you sharing your story and your mission with us.
Thank you.
All right. Up next, the Malzberg panel with Brad Hirschfeld and Adam Thompson. You will not want to miss what's coming up next. Stay with us.